Jon Jones TKO'd Stipe Miocic in the third round at UFC 309. Jones has plans to have one more fight before retiring, but not against Tom Aspinall. Jones has reiterated at the post-fight press conference that he wants to fight Alex Pereira next and is willing to vacate the heavyweight title.
So I guess what is your plan moving forward for the next few weeks?
I'm not really worried about the Tom fight. I'm really worried about the Pereira fight. That's what I want to do. And I think if the UFC wants to have me back, then I think that's the fight they'll make. I've been really clear about my intentions. I mean, I just feel like anybody would understand at this point. Like, you know, I'll retire the heavyweight belt if I have to. It's like, dude, give the guy what he wants at the end of the day, you know? And I'm not talking to Dana directly. I feel like I'm at a place now where, you know, like I want to take what I find to be super fights. I don't want to fight dangerous up-and-comers anymore. I want to fight dangerous, established champions. So Tom can have the heavyweight championship. I don't really care about it. My value doesn't lie in belts anymore. I've created something much bigger. I want Pereira.
Jones says he would only take a fight with Tom Aspinall if he's paid FU type money. Jones wants a Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson type payday. For example, Jake Paul was reportedly paid $40 million and Tyson was paid $20 million for that fight.
But I find him annoying, and I just don't like him. And at the end of the day, if I give him the opportunity to fight me, I want to be so compensated. I want to say it, I want that fuck you money, honestly. And that's just what it is. Or else, my life is perfect without him. I don't need him at all, and he needs me. And that's a good place to be in a negotiation. So I'm at a place right now where I know that Dana, he wants what he wants. He wants some big fights, and I just want to see if he's willing to compensate me. I see these guys out there making some really, really big bucks. You know, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson and all that type of stuff. And I feel like if he could consider me at that level of an athlete, I mean, I feel like I'm a much better athlete, actually, but if he could consider me in that conversation, then I'd love to stick around. But I'm really ready for my life to be changed in a much different way.
Dana White believes that Jones versus Aspinall will be the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history. Dana says that Jon will be paid a lot of money to take the Aspinall fight.
Be the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history by a long shot. Jon's always been well compensated. You know, he's always been well compensated. I would never put his total purse number out there, but it's fucking massive. The number that he went over tonight, he's made a lot of money in his career. Listen, you don't fight and then disappear for 5 years because you weren't well compensated. He makes a lot of money. So he'll make a lot more for this fight.
Dana believes that Jon Jones would be too great of a challenge for Alex Pereira, but it seems there might still be a chance for that fight to happen. Dana says if both guys want the fight so badly, then he'll have to take a look at it.
Do you think you'll try to make a fight against Pereira?
No.
No? Okay.
You know what tonight told me? There's no way I make the Pereira fight.
Okay.
Jon's too big, great wrestler. See how he took Stipe down in that first round? Yeah. I like Alex Pereira. I like him personally. It just doesn't make sense to make that fight. If they both want it bad enough and they're both fucking hounding me or something, maybe I would do it. It's just Alex Pereira is killing it. Look at his age and what he's doing right now. What's the reason to go up and fight a guy that's so much bigger than you and such a good wrestler? Money? Yeah. No, you're right. That's definitely a reason. But just so we're clear, I don't want to make any of that kind of money. I want Pereira to stay where he is and do what he does and, you know, run the street. But again, if they go crazy on me and they want to do it, then what am I going to do? They're grown-ass men, and I'm sure the fans want to see it. I'm sure you want to see it. I guess we'll talk about it.
Tom Aspinall has reacted to Jon Jones' win over Stipe. Tom told TNT Sports that he's already spoken with the UFC about a potential Jon Jones fight.
The fight, in all honesty, went exactly the way I thought it was going to go. That could have gone on for 5 rounds, could have gone on for 1 or 2 rounds. Do you know what I mean? Jon Jones had the upper hand. He was more athletic. He was showing him more things. He was giving him different looks than Stipe give him. Stipe essentially was running at him with basic boxing techniques and, in all honesty, was too slow and old to land the shots. I'll tell you a bit of exclusive news right here on TNT Sport. I was getting a few nods and winks off the bosses when Jon Jones was talking about the next fight, and that means a lot to me. And not only that, is I spoke to the UFC brass this week. Both guys are talking about This is going to be the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history.
Charles Oliveira beat Michael Chandler via unanimous decision in the co-main event. Chandler reacted to the loss backstage, saying he just couldn't get anything going.
You know, Charles is a champion. Charles is a consummate professional. Hats off to him. You know, the first couple rounds, I was trying to get things going. I feel like I gave up a couple of those rounds in order to hopefully put it on him in the later rounds. I was present. I was there. I just couldn't get anything going tonight. Call it what you want to call it. But that fifth round sure was a lot of fun, roller coaster. Almost had him out of there in the fifth. I just couldn't quite get him out of there. And he took my back, and I jumped a couple times to win the crowd over.
Charles Oliveira was asked about the blows to the back of his head in the fifth round when Chandler almost finished the fight. Charles said he's not here to criticize the ref, but he did say that there were lots of fouls being ignored.
That fifth round, obviously when he dropped you and he got on top of you, there were a lot of punches that looked like they were blows to the back of the head. When it was happening to you, were you shocked that the referee didn't, stop what was happening?
I don't know. Gosto de criticar, não gosto.
I'm not here to criticize, but I'm gonna tell you something. There were a lot of blows to the back of the head, a lot of fence grabbing. There was also some eye pokes, and I was telling him what was going on. I kept calling for his attention, and nothing would happen to him. I would hope that he would intervene, but nothing happened. So I'm not here to criticize. You're just gonna do your job.
Bo Nickel defeated Paul Craig via unanimous decision. After being booed by the crowd for a boring performance, Dana said that Bo Nickel still has a lot to work on.
You heard the crowd's reaction after Bo won, and they were booing and chanting overrated. Just how did you kind of process that?
Well, we've had these discussions with Bo. Bo needs work. Bo's an up-and-coming guy. I know he has big aspirations and wants to move faster than he should, but tonight showed that he still dominated. I mean, he won the whole fight, but he's got work to do. It's all right. We'll move him, and when you're in a position like Bo is, there's a lot of expectations, Did you see the size of Craig? I mean, the guy's a fucking monster. The president looked at me and said, "These guys are in the same weight class?" Because he loves Bo Nickel. So I said, "Yeah, they are. It's crazy."